Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Shana Carey.
I'm Bill Mitchell.
And we're here to talk to you about how to navigate your way through a job interview so you're going to knock it out of the park. Bill here has been in business. He's been in sales, marketing, home building, real estate, coaching and training of real estate agents and managers of companies. And so
Corporate
executives. So he's done a few job interviews in his time. How many would you say that you've done?
Job interviews, hundreds.
Hundreds. Well, I'm definitely taking advice from him. So I want to talk to you today a little bit about, what is it about the job interview? I know there's a lot of you out there that might be recent college graduates, so you're applying for that first job, or you're in that, I feel like the summertime comes up and there's that itch to maybe change positions. So what is it about the job interview that's so stressful, do you think?
I think probably everything's stressful if you're not prepared. Preparation is really the key. And one of the things that I always recommend, and I'm always impressed when I'm interviewing someone that's done their homework. When they come in, they've done the research. They know something about the product. They know something about the service. They know something about the competition. They have an awareness of what the job entails. Today we're pretty fortunate because we've got all this electronic media to help us research and find things. And boy, there's no end to what we can learn about a company. And one of the things that's impressive, especially to me anyway, is when they come in prepared. When an applicant comes in and they're not sitting there wanting me to explain the details, I'm okay with, but just the general, where the information is available. I'm impressed when they come in and they say, I recognize that this company is a competitor, but I looked at their website and I wasn't very impressed with it compared to yours, where I know that they've done some work. So to me, researching the company, its products, its services, even get a sense of maybe the people that work there. Try and get a concept of what the job is.
So we definitely have it easy. We have platforms such as LinkedIn that you can find companies that you didn't even know existed.
Correct.
And they can find you. So doing the research just beyond LinkedIn, and when you say research and finding out about the company, what specific things should we be looking for?
Well, I think, first of all, does the company have the culture that's consistent with you? Does it appear that there's a growth opportunity, both for the company and for you as an individual? I guess you have to decide whether you're looking for a job or a career. If you're just looking for a job to get a paycheck, it probably isn't as necessary. Although you may be more desperate.
Yeah, but that's an intimidating question to ask someone that's interviewing you. It's because for me, when I go into an interview, I'm just hoping to get the job. It's hard to see past that initial, yes, you have the job.
Well, see, that's the other thing that I always try. Think for a moment, when you go buy something, don't you try and determine if the value or the benefit of having it is worth what they're asking you to pay? Well, take that same mentality. I always encourage people to come into an interview with the idea that you're there to interview the company as much as the company is there to interview you. You see, too many people go in and they just start talking about all their credentials and all the things they can do and how they want this job. And that's the wrong way to go. And it's the wrong way to go because you're giving a sense of, I want the job, I don't know what it is and I don't know what it costs or what it pays. But the reality is, you want to know, is there growth and opportunity for you? Is this a career opportunity or just a temporary job? Is this a place where the company can grow? Is this a place that is open to ideas? Understanding the culture of the company. All that's part of both how your attitude in terms of how you go into the job. I say to you, without question, I was always impressed with people that came in and started asking me questions. Like, first I'd like to understand a little bit about the details of jobs and your expectation of this job. So there's a whole different attitude that you go into the meeting. And that takes a lot of the stress out, because now you're saying to yourself, I'm going in to see if this is a place that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And it changes your whole demeanor.
Your whole mentality about the interview and the pressure. The pressure's almost lifted off of you a little bit, because you're also looking at them saying, is this going to work for me?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
interesting. So what are a few more things that you could recommend for us to do ahead of time to be prepared for our interview?
Well, probably attitude.
Okay.
What's your attitude? Your attitude's how you feel about what you know. Mm-hmm. If you're not excited about this job to the extent that you know about it, your attitude will probably show that. The other thing that I always look for is the sense of an attitude that displays confidence without bravado. I remember Herb Elliott was at one time, he was a runner and one of the fastest runners in the world. And he was interviewed by Sports Illustrated after he had just won a marathon. And the reporter asked him, he said, how do you get to be the fastest person in the world? And he said, well, I got to tell you, for me, you have to have the arrogance to believe you're the best, but you have to have the humility to do what it takes to be the best. And so that's what I say. Go in with a sense of confidence. I like the word confidence better than I like the word arrogance. But you go in with that sense of confidence that this is something that I believe. And if you don't know if you can handle it or not, then that's when you take charge of the meeting and find out what it is they're selling. So you go in and you have the confidence, but you have the humility. You demonstrate confidence. How do you demonstrate confidence? Look me in the eye. If you're going to shake my hand, shake my hand. Don't flop it around like it's a dead fish. And I don't mean squeeze it so it hurts, but I'm saying be firm and look people in the eye. And that's one of the biggest problems that I think that we can have. When you're in an interview, you want to be focused on that interviewer, and you don't want that interview to catch you looking over here at a picture when he's or she is talking to you.
Checking if your phone's vibrating.
Correct.
All those other outside influences that'll
Correct.
steer you.
The other thing I always tell everyone going for an interview, there is a universal belief by interviewers, and I'm one that believes it, that you're never going to look better than you will the day that you're interviewed. Now you think about that. If that's the best you're going to look, you better work hard at looking as good as you can. And when I say that, as good as you can, if you understand the job, think of a job like a stage play. You've got a part in this play, okay? And in this play, you have to dress a certain way, because it's the play. If it's a musical, it's one thing. If it's a comedy, it's another. If it's a drama, it's another. Okay, you dress for that part. When you go to work, when you go for an appointment, an interview, when you get in there, you have some idea of what their dress culture is. What does the place look like? For example, there are all kinds of prejudices, and you need to understand that people have them, and so you try to deal with them as best you can. But it's really important to fit yourself into the play. And if you can't do that, for example, I would not go dressed like this to work for a gaming company. The Blizzards of the world.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. And if I were loaded with tattoos, I would probably, in body piercings, I probably wouldn't go into a major corporation for an executive position like that.
Right.
So I'd probably wear long sleeve shirts and turtleneck shirts so they can't see if I have tattoos or not. But the reality is, there's a saying that 50% of the people don't like facial hair. Well, I say to salesmen, if you're in sales and 50% of the people don't like facial hair, why do you want to eliminate 50% of your audience?
It's an easy fix.
Yeah, it's an easy fix. You can grow it back later.
Yeah.
But those are the kinds of things that I think help people think through when they go. It's about the attitude that you go in with. It's about the knowledge that you go in with. And it's about how you present yourself relative to their culture and their organization.
Great. Thank you so much. Those are 3 great tips to help you on your next interview. And we hope you enjoyed. Bill is always giving out great words of wisdom, and if you would like to receive more of his words of wisdom on an array of topics that he covers, we're going to provide a link up above that you can click on, and you're going to sign up and you're going to get emails weekly of mindset memos that he's going to talk about all kinds of topics. So we hope you join us there, and we hope you join us again next week. Thanks so much.
Enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us.